Hey, everybody, welcome back to the Jersey Comic Crew. On a very special episode today, we are giving you everything you need to know before you watch Loki Season 1. Come on inside.
What's up, everybody? We are the Jersey Comic Crew, and today we're giving you a special video. This is everything that you need to know about Loki. Now, guys, this is your spoiler warning, essentially for the MCU. We're going to go on this journey with you guys through the history of Loki in the MCU, so that way, when you watch Loki, the TV series, you already have the refresher course, if you will, of what he has done in the MCU. Well, guys, sit back, relax, as we talk about Loki's complicated history in the MCU. We're introduced to Loki, played by Tom Hiddleston, in Thor. Loki, the God of Mischief, is introduced to us as the Marvel Comics' accurate brother of the mighty Thor. Heir to the throne of Asgard, Thor really cares about Loki, and Loki likes to manipulate Thor to further his plans throughout his adventures throughout the Nine Realms.
During an attack in Asgard by the Frost Giants, Thor leads Loki and the Warriors Three to the realm of Jotunheim to seek revenge against the Frost Giants for their attack on Asgard. It is there on Jotunheim Loki finds out that he is immune to the ice powers that the Frost Giants have, and realizes that he couldn't be a true son of Odin or ever be king of Asgard, which was his goal and dream.
Loki confronts Odin about this, and Odin confirms that he was found as a baby on the cold plains of Jotunheim, abandoned for being half human. Odin and Freya took him in as their own, confirming that Loki is indeed adopted and the true son of Laufey, king of the Frost Giants. Loki, enraged, screamed at his father Odin, claiming that he knew the whole time and let Loki think that he could ever become king of Asgard. It is here that Loki becomes the secret villain of Thor and begins to open the passage for the Frost Giants to invade Asgard.
As Thor is banished to Earth for invading Jotunheim and almost causing a war, Loki appears to him in one of Thor's lowest moments, and he is unable to lift his hammer Mjolnir. Loki lies to Thor, saying that Odin is dead and that he is now the king of Asgard, pretending that the burden is something he never wanted. Thor basically sacrifices himself against the Destroyer, which Loki sends after him. In doing this, Thor becomes worthy again and returns to Asgard to take down the Frost Giants and Loki.
Thor and Loki battled it out on the Rainbow Bridge, with Thor becoming victorious as Loki lets himself fall off the bridge and into the void in space. Thor and Odin think Loki is dead. However, this is another Loki trick, as we see him in the after-credits scene on Earth tracking down the Tesseract in the form of Dr. Selvig. As we lead into the Avengers movie, Loki interacts with the Other and is given the command of the Chitauri forces in order to get the Tesseract for Thanos.
At the start of the film, Loki crashes a S.H.I.E.L.D. facility that is holding the Tesseract. He enters through a wormhole in space and attacks S.H.I.E.L.D. along with Nick Fury. At the time, it was unknown that Loki was indeed working for Thanos the Mad Titan, and his job was to get the Space Stone that was currently within the Tesseract and give it to Thanos. He takes over Hawkeye and Dr. Selvig's mind with his new scepter housing the Mind Stone. He destroys the S.H.I.E.L.D. facility and gets away with his newly minted puppets.
Due to Loki's attack, Nick Fury activates the Avengers Initiative, gathering Earth's mightiest heroes for the impending fight that only they can handle. Loki is next seen in Stuttgart, Germany with Hawkeye. They're stealing iridium for Dr. Selvig in order to stabilize their machine that opened a space doorway for the Chitauri army to invade. This leads to a brief encounter with Captain America, Iron Man, and Black Widow, where he easily surrenders.
While Loki is being escorted to the S.H.I.E.L.D. helicarrier, Thor arrives and takes him, claiming that his actions are an Asgardian matter, and hoping to talk his brother out of his actions. Thor reluctantly agrees to take him to the S.H.I.E.L.D. helicarrier, where he is held in an unbreakable cell that we soon find out is made for the Hulk.
As Stark and Banner search for the power signature of the Tesseract, they also have Loki's scepter there for observation. Natasha uses this time to ask Loki why he is doing all of this. Loki begins berating her with information that only she would know, thinking he has the upper hand. He reveals that the true monster on the ship is Banner, and Natasha thanks him for the information and walks off, leaving Loki confused.
Loki's scepter begins to heighten the animosity and angst within the Avengers as Hawkeye and the other mind-controlled S.H.I.E.L.D. agents attack the helicarrier. The attack causes Banner to transform into the Hulk, and Thor must try and stop him. This is what Loki wanted, and Thor realizes it but gets tricked again by Loki's disappearing act and trapped in the cell. Loki then kills Phil Coulson before escaping. Loki activates Selvig's completed device on the top of Stark Tower in New York City. This opens a massive wormhole in space, and the Chitauri space invasion begins. Loki fights the Avengers, ending in Hulk literally smashing him into the floor of Tony Stark's penthouse.
After the Battle of New York City, Thor takes a beaten Loki and the Tesseract back to Asgard. This is where we start beginning to see a new change in Loki. In Thor the Dark World, we now see Loki as a captive prisoner in Asgard due to his crimes for invading Earth in the Avengers. Thor visits Loki and tries to reason with him. Thor is concerned about his brother's descent into madness.
As the Dark Elves, led by Malekith, invade Asgard, Thor and Loki's mother Freya gets killed protecting Jane Foster. Jane currently has the ether in her blood and was on Asgard to try and rid her of it. Thor has to tell Loki that their mother is indeed dead.
Loki, seemingly unbothered, is in reality broken by this news. He uses his magic to hide the truth in his cell. Thor reluctantly frees Loki so that he can help stop Malekith and lead Thor to the secret entrance to the Dark Elves' realm of Svartalfheim.
In Svartalfheim, Loki tricks Malekith into taking the ether out of Jane Foster, seemingly betraying Thor in doing so. Loki then gets mortally wounded, saving Thor from Curse, Malekith's battle general. Thor watches Loki die and leaves chasing after Malekith. With Thor gone, Loki takes away the mirage, revealing that he is indeed fine and alive.
After Thor defeats Malekith and the Dark Elves, he returns to Asgard to relay the news to Odin. Odin tells him that his time has come to take the throne of Asgard. Thor wishes to stay on Earth, and after he leaves, it is revealed that Odin is actually Loki on the throne of Asgard once more. Moving to Thor Ragnarok, we know that Loki has been on the throne of Asgard, disguised as Odin throughout the last 4 years.
Loki is ruling Asgard and has sent Odin to Earth under a spell so that he doesn't know who he is. Thor returns to Asgard and realizes Loki's ruse as he is acting just like Loki would. Thor makes Loki tell him where Odin really is, and they go to Earth seeking the help of Stephen Strange. Strange doesn't mix well with Loki and puts him in an endless falling loop. Strange then sends them to Norway, where they meet up with a dying Odin. Odin warns them that when he dies, his firstborn evil daughter Hela will be freed from his power and seal.
Hela appears, destroys Mjolnir, and then sends Thor and Loki throughout the Bifrost out into space. Loki ends up on the planet Sakaar and integrates himself with the Grand Master, the quirky leader of the planet. After Thor is captured and forced to fight the Hulk in the arena, Loki playfully betrays Thor. He pretends he doesn't know him during the arena battles, and then again in Thor's escape. Loki stays in Sakaar after his brother mounts an escape with Hulk and Valkyrie.
Loki returns at the end of the movie to help the Asgardian people escape Asgard during the fight with Thor and Hela. Proclaiming himself their savior as the people look on confusedly, Loki does place the crown on Surtur's eternal flame in Odin's treasure room, thus enacting Thor's plan and destroying Hela and Asgard with it. Between Ragnarok and Infinity War, we see that the Asgardian ship led by Thor and Loki is stopped by Thanos and his forces in space.
Thanos boards the Asgardian ship, overpowering Thor, and kills Heimdall. Having previously worked for Thanos, he gives Loki one more chance to pledge his allegiance to him. Loki potentially, with a last-ditch effort, tries to attack Thanos, wielding the Power Stone. Thanos then kills Loki by snapping his neck.
Fast forward now to the middle of Avengers Endgame. The Avengers go back in time to recollect the Infinity Stones. One of their stops is New York during the events of the first Avengers film. Loki has been stopped and is being escorted out of Stark Tower by S.H.I.E.L.D. Tony Stark is pretending to be a S.H.I.E.L.D. agent, trying to get the Tesseract, and needs a distraction. Ant-Man jumps into 2012 Tony's arc reactor chess piece, short-circuiting him. This causes the case with the Tesseract to fly open, and in the confusion, Loki grabs it and vanishes through the wormhole, creating a new alternate timeline, which we are now going to explore in Loki Season 1.
Now, guys, that is the entire history of Loki in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Every point throughout every movie, so that way you're fully caught up in all the ins and outs of Loki, so that way both you and we are prepared for Loki Season 1. Now, guys, let us know down in the comments, what was your favorite Loki moment in the MCU before watching the new series?
And guys, thanks so much for watching again. Please give us a thumbs up like if you like the video. It helps us out a lot. If you're brand new, subscribe and turn those notifications. You don't want to miss any more videos about Loki, as we are going to be tackling it throughout the entire Season 1. And as always, I'm Chris Heller. That is Rob Moran. We're the Jersey Comic Crew, and we will see you next time.